Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Michaela and I'm going to do today with you a new pattern. I've been working for some time on it, but I just didn't have the time yet to release it. Now today is the day, so I'll be explaining you. So it's a cross twisted knot, one shoulder top, so it becomes something like this, right? And this is my back piece, so this is one front piece, this is another front piece, and that's the back pieces here. I did cut for this the same color of lining as well. I'm just checking if my camera is not too low. Yes, and I will actually put aside the back pieces because I want to work first on the front pieces. I do have a few patterns with the twisted knot, and it's so cool. I love this this kind of tops, right? So yes, we will start. As you can see, this is my main fabric and this is my lining. So my lining is white and the main fabrics is the colored ones. So what we will do, I will be placing practically the main fabric on top of the lining, right side of the fabric facing together, and I will be pinning all along this long side, all along the curved side. And as you can see, I did mark these little 2 marks over here, which I will be also pin them, but just these little two tiny this little space. Yeah, all the rest I will leave unsewn, right? I will be doing the same thing for the other side of the top, so I'll be placing it on top of each other, right side of the fabric facing together, and I am pinning all around here to the side. This part I will leave it unpinned, and I will pin and stitch this little bit, right? So I'll be pinning one side so it's easier for you. I'm actually pinning all away this back piece, but I will only stitch it this little dotted space. I'm pinning it all along because of course I want that it matches perfectly the 2 fabrics in the same point, right? So that they're not moving. Alrighty, like that. And if you've seen any of my videos, I always prefer to do a bust stitching before I'm actually serging. If you do not have a serger, you can always use your zigzag stitch on a normal sew machine, and you can add elastic. Elastic is not obligatory, but it is highly recommended. I do have a rubber elastic. You can use a different type of elastic as well. I do find that the rubber elastic is the one which really works better to swimwear or activewear, as it holds in place better the fabrics and the stretch. It's so much better. Okay, so I've pinned this bit because I want to show you first the bust stitching. So I will be doing this part as well off camera. Like I said, the long line, the curved line, and this little tiny bit, I will be stitching it exactly this, but I will be working only on this side together with you. And I'm going to quickly thread my sew machine. I did add an extra light to my sew machine because I struggle sometimes seeing. Okay, so that is prepared. I'm just gonna move this a little bit out of the way so you see well. For the bust stitching, I'm actually just doing a straight stitch. I'm not I have it on the highest stitch length, And I will actually start with this bit so you can see. I did a little mistake when I've marked it. It's a waterproof, sorry, it's a water wash away, or how you call it, pen. So yes, I'm just stitching this bit because here is where the where's the actual knot will be happening, and you will understand in a minute why. And now I will be doing with you on camera this part over here. And I try not to rush too much with the bust stitching because I do want my fabrics to stay in place and not move. Sorry, I think my camera just twisted a little bit. I'm gonna check it afterwards. Okay. So I did this bit over here. So you can see, like I said, this is a bust stitching, right? And I will be making these small cuts into the stitch to allow stretch, because overall it is a straight stitch, right? I'll be doing it on both sides of the fabric, right? And if you want, you can rip it apart, you can remove it. I am honest with you, I don't bother to remove it, but I always make these little cuts into it. Let me just check if everything is okay. Oh yes, my hair just moved. All right, so I'm here on my serger, and you can see that I have my elastic prepared. I have my elastic foot over here, and actually I will be only doing it this part with you, not to bore you, right? All the rest I will be doing off camera. So I've added the elastic. And this little bit over here, I will be not adding elastic. I will just actually serge it straight over. Perfect. Okay, so after this, I will be doing off camera. I repeat one more time. I'll be doing all the pinned bits over here, right? Just this long curved line. And I will be doing the other side of the top as well. The long piece, the long curved, and the little tiny bit, which is marked over here exactly on this side. I'll be back soon. So I'm back here with you, and I've got my two parts, my two front pieces ready. As you can see, I added elastic exactly where I told you, and I did these little tiny stitches like that. So I think it's pretty visual how the sewing must go. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn both front pieces. I'm going to turn them on the right side of the fabric together. The steps are quite the same, not completely, but almost. Let me just turn this, and then I will be explaining you, right? So now it's more visual how everything will go, right? Next thing, what I'm going to do, I am going to do a straight stitch over this lower part, right? To the same, it's a bust stitching in order to secure the two layers of fabric together so they're not moving around, right? So I'm just pinning over here, and then I will be doing a straight stitch, right? And then I will show you the next step. I'll be doing the same straight stitch on both things, but don't rush and don't do both sides exactly the same. So straight stitch like that, and here there will be also a straight stitch as well. And here the same, and I'm going straight ahead to show you. So I'll be working on just this side first, and I will be explaining you just a straight stitch is the same step you have to repeat on both sides, right? Just the same, the straight stitch. And since it's a bastic stitch as well, you will have to do these little cuts into the stitch, because later on you will be doing a zigzag stitch or a serge or serge it. Okay, so I will be showing you just this little part, then I will be doing the straight stitch on the other side of the top off camera. Once I've done it, I come back and I explain you the next thing, but first I show you how to create this little loop inside on this side. Let me just do these two little cuts. Okay, so this is actually how the top will be on you. This is the front, right? So next thing you have to do is actually place it over like this, right? And you will be pinning. You'll be pinning this bit, and now you understand why we did this this straight stitching, because you are actually sewing over the 4 layers of fabric, right? So in this way, of course, it's much easier to handle so many layers of fabric, right? And I'm actually going straight to my serger, but if you wish, you can do another straight stitch. Anyways, I will be going back to my normal sew machine to secure this stitch. So sorry. I hope you see it good. And I will explain in a minute what I mean with the securing of this stitch. So here is where my hole is, yeah, and I want to secure this bit, you know. So I'll be going back and forth just a few times with my normal sew machine to make sure nothing comes unraveled. All right, and now I'll be turning it on like the front, and you see here I've got the little hole. If you wish, you can make it a little smaller, really it's up to you, but I wanted to make it more visual for you to actually see what is happening. The sides we will do a straight stitch after, practically just like that, but we can leave this to the side, right? And now I will be going ahead and do this straight stitch off camera, just the straight stitch, right? This this part, no, right? Please wait for me. I'll be doing this straight stitch off camera. Once I'm done, I'll come back to show you how the twisted knot is coming together. Okay, so I've done the straight stitch like I said. All right, thank you for waiting. And next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this bead, right, and I'm going to pull it through. Sorry, yeah, I'm going to, sorry, like that is good. I'm going to pull it through and sorry. So I go over, right? I go over like this. I've just introduced it, right? And then I want to place it like that. So to explain myself better, one more time, I have the hole here prepared. I go through, right? And then I want to comb this, shall comb right side on the right side. So I'll be doing the same like before. I'm pinning and serging this bit over here. Sorry, wrong needle. Like this. And I try to synchronize it over here. Okay, with this I'm moving straight to my serger, right? And like before, I will be serging this bit over like that. And you have to be very careful when you're reaching towards the kind of like the end, right? That you're not cutting through anything. And of course, you will want your hole as small as possible. I'm going back to my normal sew machine and I will be doing again this straight stitch over to secure my serger stitch. All right, so now you actually have a front piece, right? And I will be showing you the next steps in the next video, right? Sorry, in the next recording, because now my battery is very low, but the front piece is almost finished. We are getting closer. Okay, so I'm back and I want to explain you the next steps to finish practically the front piece. So what we are going to do, we are going to secure the two sides, right? And I'm going to pin this side, and we are going to practically do just a simple straight stitch, so it's practically a bust stitching. Sorry, my kitty, it's my kitty's playtime, right? So we're doing a straight stitch over here, so it's bust stitching, and we're going to do the same for this side, right? I'm going to practically pin it like this. Okay, and also I'm going to do a straight stitch over this part and this part to secure these 2 layers of fabric, because afterwards we are going to sew, let's say, the mauve part on top of the neon yellow part. So I want to show you this part first. Okay, so as I said before, this the mauve part will come on top of the neon yellow part, yeah. And I know that perhaps might be a little bit difficult, your sewing machine going over. If you struggle with it, I recommend you actually two things. So sorry, three things. You could have I think what it's called, a hum jumper. Let me see if I can find it over here. Also, sorry, I'm not finding it. Yes, I did. So you could have this little tool over here, which is extremely useful. So you see there is one side which is slightly thinner, and then there is a side which is a little bit more thick. So what you have to do, you place it under your foot, right? And you lower the foot, but you have to make sure that it's really in the middle, so then your needle won't hit the foot by any chance, right? And then you start sewing. It will jump backwards. So, yes, once you start sewing over it, practically the hum jumper did its job, and it's just going backwards. And look how beautiful I've stitched over it. It's actually the only thing you have to do is doing this, because afterwards this piece together will be introduced into the back piece. So I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to do this bust stitching off camera. Obviously it's such an easy step, but like I already informed you, I will be doing this, right? And I'm going to set it up aside, and I've got here my back piece, and I'm going to do the same like before. I'm going to place right side on top of each other, right side facing together, so the main fabric on top of the lining. In this case I have the same color of the lining. I had just a little piece left of this kind of fabric, so I wanted to use it. So I'm going to pin in all these places. So in this little curved area, I am pinning it, and I will be doing exactly the same thing like we did before. I will be first doing a bust stitching, and then I will be adding elastic with my serger. So one curved area, second, and as well the bottom part, right? So I always choose to pin it first, then to make sure that my fabric is not sliding around when I'm serging the elastic, I'm doing the bust stitching like I already told you before. Bust stitching, you can rip it off, you can make little cuts into it so it allows stretch. Or if you're really experimented seamstress, you don't need to do the bust stitching. You can just go ahead and serge adding elastic. Okay, so I'm almost done pinning. I will be doing all these little steps off camera, so the video is not too long. And once I'm back, I'm going to explain you what are the next steps on connecting the back piece with the front piece. Okay, so I'm back, and I did a back piece like I told you. I added the elastic in all these parts, right? And now what next thing what we are going to do, we are having the front piece on the right side of the fabric, right? And we will introduce it inside of the back piece, right? So you have to introduce it just as you see it, okay? So I'm starting with the shoulder because I don't want anything to get twisted in between, as is the smallest part coming through it, right? So I'm introducing that first. Okay, and you can see it should have the same curve, right? Like the front piece, and you can pin it like this. And now you can introduce the other parts. Like inside, and the same. So I first just pin it to secure everything together, and then I'm actually pinning it to stitch more. But yes, so what I'm practically doing most of the time is just a straight stitch over. If you want, you can do a straight stitch and serge it as well on top. Most of the time I feel like a straight stitch is always enough, so I only do that. Perhaps I go twice over the thing. I see how I'm feeling it, so I'm just going a bit back and forth. So I'm just going to show you this side, and then the next one I'm going off camera. I make sure that I'm having all 4 layers, right, stitched. This is the most important. The most important part of it. So yes, and I'm checking it on the other side, and in this moment you can trim excess fabric, like excess threads, and I will be doing the same thing on the other side. And now I am going to do the shoulder bit, right, and the same. You see, you're stitching over a lot of layers. I'm actually going to turn it on the other side so I see it better. You're going to serge over a lot of layers, so we're going to do this step like before once again. The hum jumper, and I realized I didn't give you the other tips. So the other tips about it is you can either, well, obviously hand stitch it, which is absolutely no shame. So you can hand stitch it just simply to have all the layers together, and then you can go together, or you can go over with your normal sew machine. Another tip you can do, you can actually start a little bit further than the edge. You can start a little bit in the middle. Okay, so yeah, I like to go sometimes 2 times over, just to be sure that I'm catching all the layers underneath, and I see 4 layers inside and 2 which I stitched. And now I'm just practically trimming the excess. I'm going to do off camera the other side, but what I wanted to already show you, what I'm going to do also next, I'm going to rip stitch stitch rip a little hole over here. So I make this little hole, not too big, which will help me to turn all my perhaps it's a little too small, which will perhaps me perhaps which will help me to turn the top on the right side of the fabric. Once I've done this, obviously I will stitch this this little hole. I will hand stitch it. I'm doing an invisible stitch, which is well, there are a lot of YouTube videos about how to do an invisible stitch. You can just also do practically just a straight stitch, but I prefer the invisible because it's obviously not visual. So yeah, now I'm going to do this last bit, and it's actually just a few seconds, so I am going to do it on camera. My sew machine is actually quite good over sewing several layers, so I don't always need to use the hum jumper, but I tell you that it's a very, very useful tool. To have. I mean, I do use it sometimes, but really quite rarely. Okay, so I've got here the other side as well stitched, and I'm going to turn it now on the right side of the fabric. I'm just going to quickly trim some excess fabric because I don't enjoy to have bulkiness inside. So yeah, you have to be very careful when you're doing this step because you don't want to trim into the stitch or anything. So I'm taking the little hole and I'm just pulling something from inside, and I just bring everything on the right side of the fabric. And this top is so cool and it's so chic. I can't wait to make some more of this, and look how beautiful it looks. And you have the little twisted, not twist. You can always put the same, like if you don't want your lining to be seen, you can always put the same fabric on both sides. But of course, when it's being worn, it's not this part is not visual, right? So yes, I'm going to remove some little threads which got caught in between. Yeah, and last but not least, I will make the closing. I'm going to search it first. Yes, it's in the back piece actually. So then I'm going to make this doing a hand stitch. So I'm going to close it by hand stitching. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy sewing!